Hi, she's Trixie, and I'm Sarah, and this is Our Yarn World, a place where we come to share the love of yarn crafts and all that it gives us and what we hope it gives you. We're on episode 179 today, and yeah, and today we are enjoying I don't know. We are now in the season, at least for me, where the kids are slowly getting out of school, and things like getting things out of the house and spring cleaning and all that stuff is happening. And I find that when I do that, finding all the things I already have or haven't done or have done has become a big part of my reality. But with my mom, it tends towards smaller projects because the hotter it gets, the smaller the projects are normally for my mom. So I feel like this is a natural and gradual shift of our crafting season that I've noticed that we do. We have that big one for Christmas where we have those deadlines. Yeah. We have ones normally during the fall where they're big blankets and comfort stuff. Yeah. And I find that as we're getting into the spring, there's so much of a shift of what do we have, what do we not have, what have we got done, what have we not got done, what do we want to do, and likely condensing it down to something smaller because of the heat. Yeah. So that's for sure. I just felt like that was just something because I feel like that's kind of where I'm at. I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to start getting back into my repertoire of what I'm going to start doing again. I have some people asking for some orders. I have some people doing this, but I'm also trying to think, it's getting warmer. How am I going to start doing my crafting again? Yeah. What is my priorities here? And I feel like you are right on it with your small little... Yeah. Is it a lap blanket?
It's going to be a pillow.
Oh, that's right. The pillow. Again, proving my point that you're doing smaller projects because... Not only because it's getting warmer, but because it's something that you really wanted, but... I find that you tend to do smaller projects in the warmer months.
I do. Now I'm going to remind you of what the yarn is. I have a big twist, and it's called Hot Pink.
It's a very vibrant neon pink.
Yes.
I know it's kind of diluted in saturation in the video, but it's very vibrant.
And then I have Premier Just 1 Pound black. And I got this at Dollar Tree for $5. And so I combined them using my own mosaic crochet pattern. And I went 4 repeats across because I'm going to double it and make a pillow. But here is what I've gotten done.
Pretty.
But I'm just going to fold it in half. So the top, bottom, and side, after I get it filled, or top and bottom or whatever, and then I'll fill it, and then I'll do whatever end I didn't do. And isn't that pretty? It's turning out so well. And even my husband has been looking at it and commenting on it, how really pretty that is. And it's not that hard to do. But it's just a few tricks and tweaks. Like last week, I ended up having to rip out all that you saw, all the way down to the black border. Because I forgot one part, and I had to look it up. The parts where you go down into the front post are double crochets. Everything else is single crochet. I was doing everything in single crochet, and it was kind of bunching it.
Oh, gosh.
And so it was like a divot. And each time I was doing that, it was making a divot. And so when I was going across, it wasn't
flat.
It wasn't flat, and it wasn't coming together right. So I looked it up, and I found out that was double crochet, and it made more sense. So I ripped it back, and then I started over, and I loved doing it after that. It was like, this is the exact right thing for me at this point. And I love the colors. They just suit. So,
question.
yes.
And I know that this is kind of like a random thing for both of us, because you would think, hey, mom and daughter, we don't live that far away from each other, we must hang out all the time. It isn't always the case. But I know that there was a project that you wanted me to help you with for your doll.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, if you could teach me this pattern, because I don't know how to do this sort of stuff, not that I wouldn't do it any other way, I obviously would just help you regardless, but why don't we make it a joint effort where you teach me this and I teach you that?
Yeah. This is it's good.
Because that way we could set a time together where doing it is the most productive and the most, we both get something fun to do.
I did notice on my pattern, though, that, okay, I'm on 10, that I went up to 16 rows. I only really needed 8, but I didn't realize that at the time. I knew it from my other pattern that I had, but I couldn't figure out where I had started with that one, so I made sure that I went up enough that I could see the repeating. Mm-hmm. But from 1 to 8 is one layer of it, and from 9 to 16 is another layer of it. Mm-hmm. So as soon as I hit 9, I know I'm repeating.
Yep, so it repeats after 8 rows.
Yes. And so I was just like, okay, so this is really good. So I'm on my second. Okay, I did 16, and now I'm on my second batch of doing this, and I'm up to row 10. I'll go up to 16 again.
So you're on the 26 rows.
Yeah. And then I'll finish this, and then I'll do it a third time. So I'm going to have 48 rows altogether. And then I'll add the 2 layers of the black to make sure that I have as much as I have on this end, I want on this end. And then I'll start getting it stuffed. I figure 48 rows is probably a good size for a pillow. So that's what I'm going to be doing, and I don't know if I'm keeping it for myself or giving it away yet. So I've got somebody in mind for it, but I'm not sure yet. So we'll see.
Okay.
So.
All right.
I have a pregnant mom who loves pink.
That would be really cool.
I know. So I'm thinking maybe it would be fun to do that.
So, yes, it's fun to have neighbors. Anyway.
So, there you go. That's what I'm doing.
I haven't gotten much done this week, if anything. I kind of have it in my head that I have some things, like I told you in the beginning. I'm trying to organize myself to figure out exactly how I want to get my productivity going. I have some orders that were requested of me. I have some things to get done. But I noticed, I feel like I said this before, maybe I didn't, but a couple weeks ago, a friend of ours, a couple, the husband passed away.
Yeah.
And
you were telling us that.
I have my keychain display in the kitchen. My husband, in an attempt to go visit the friend, I would say that they're like family to him, kind of like an aunt and uncle. He grabbed one of their keychains, and one of the keychains to go bring it to her. And I found that very, I appreciated kind of the idea that these do make very interesting pick-me-up gifts. it's become a thing with me where I realize that I enjoy the nature of the gift giving when it comes to these projects, just like you, where there is this ability to create some level of joy, some level of just, you're able to just offer some sort of reprieve and happiness, even if it's very small, even if it's not meant to be perfect. It's just meant to be there and just have fun. And the only reason why I bring it up is because the other day, Lilo and Stitch dropped in theaters, the live action, and when I was with my daughter, we went to the store and we got matching like Lilo and Stitch necklaces. Mine says Ohana, hers has like Stitch on it. And when I was there, I found this. It's like a little backpack keychain pouch, a purse that can be put on a little wrist lanyard. I just got this because it was cheap and my daughter said to get it. Sheet of print, and I wasn't going to tell her no. I let her pick out the one I was going to get, and she got me the pink one that was white. It can hold my chapstick in the front pouch, and I have a little wallet in here with my key. But I was like, it came, this lanyard came with the option to be able to kind of like add other things to it. And obviously you could say keys, whatever, but I put, so right now I put one of my keychains on here, the little pig in the blanket. And even though it's not exactly my style, it was an idea and I was doing it for others. There's a level of just satisfaction of how cute this thing is.
It really is.
And just how much joy it brings just because it's just there. This little pig in a blanket. And if there's someone that needs to pick me up, I can hand it to them.
Yes.
I can just take it off of here and just give it to them.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal to me. I would love to sell them, but there's also just the added benefit that I've noticed recently that they're good. If I'm just going to go to a random luncheon with people I haven't seen in a while, I can take some off of my tree and have something that I can just be like, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. I haven't thought of you in a while. Not, God, no, haven't seen you in a while. And because I haven't been able to see you in a while, I haven't done anything thoughtful in a while. Yeah. And it's not trying to be some sort of half-hearted thing as much as just, I try to choose things I think that they would like.
Right.
Not trying to be insulting. I didn't mean didn't see you or didn't think of you. As much as just, time sometimes can be very unforgiving. And I find that the moments where you find yourself pleasantly surprised that things that you did in the past that you didn't know why you were doing it ends up coming back and being like, wait a minute, this is why I did it. Even if I didn't realize it, or even if it was unplanned. I feel like my mom gets that way with blankets a lot. She'll make blankets and she won't know why it happened or why she chose that. And then it ends up being a perfect display of a perfect gift that she can hand off to somebody in need of a hug. It just feels, maybe, I don't really believe in predestination, but it almost feels that way, like it's pre-designed. And I don't know if it's just that in a hobby like ours where we're creating, it gives a sense of, we put purpose into what we create, and then when we get to see the purpose fulfilled, it's so satisfying.
It really is.
And sometimes for a long time we only see one half of the project.
Yeah.
Just the making of it and the joy it gives us. But when we're able to see it go into a home or to a person that really could benefit for that little bit of joy that it can offer, it's like nothing else.
Yeah.
And so I am excited and I feel very privileged to be able to have this hobby and be able to gift it to people and have people who are able to rely on the pick-me-up that I'm able to offer. I have kids and family members and friends who just are like, you're so good at this. Can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do this? Like, I have nieces and nephews and little kids in my life that think that I can make anything. And it's very interesting when they give me a challenge and I'm sitting there being like, okay, let's try this. Like my nephew, he's challenged me to make a very intricate character. Has a lot of color changes and a lot of different things. And part of me is like, I can crochet it, but some of it might benefit from other materials, like crocheting the body, but making some of the clothing out of actual cloth.
Right.
Because some of that might be a little bit more productive. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited, and I am feeling very blessed today. And even though I have nothing to show, I just wanted to impart that sometimes, even when we feel like we might be doing something just for the sake of doing it, and we might have gotten into the habit of feeling like we have to have a reason to do it, let it go. Let the ability to just create happen. Because the purpose of where it's meant to be will come with time. And as I'm going through my spring cleaning and finding all the things I've been making, it is okay that it didn't happen all at once. Yeah. It's okay that time is going to show you where it's meant to be placed. Because you have this amazing talent, you have this amazing gift, and it is fruitful and even sometimes overabundant. But it will bless somebody later down the line or yourself if you just give it time and love.
Right.
And opportunity.
And that's where our quote comes in. Now, my friend Jane has sent me 2 quotes today, and we are going to use one of them. And the next one we'll use next week. But Sarah and I both approved of this one. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of going along with what we were talking about, and we weren't really doing that on purpose.
I didn't really even think about the quote.
So it says, there are 2 things we get every morning when we wake up: a chance and a choice. And that was said by J. Prince. They didn't want to give their name, so they just put J. But J. Prince. So there are 2 things we get every morning when we wake up: a chance and a choice. So.
And I think that sometimes we forget that our chance to create does not have to have a purpose, because the choice to offer ourselves up and our creation as blessings will offer themselves up in time. I don't know how many times in me and my mom's life that we'll just be in a certain situation and our sister-in-law will say, hey, I have a auction for a fundraiser I'm doing. Could you please make something homemade? Hey, I need something for something happening over here. My mom found the Linus Blanket Foundation and was giving blankets that way. I know that, like, just even like the keychains with my family and friends, just being able to have a little pick-me-up has been huge. Being able to offer a smile to somebody that might have really needed it. Right. Things like that happen all the time. I find that in the odd way of things that sometimes disappoint me end up mattering a lot differently in a different way. Sometimes I set such a high expectation to try to get an intricate gift done for someone I thought it was meant for. Then the birthday or the holiday passes and I get frustrated because I'm like, I didn't get it done in time. And then time passes and I'm stuck feeling like I'm letting them down, even though I'm the only one that knows that it was even created or started. And then later down the line, I realized that wasn't meant for them. It actually was meant for somebody else.
Yeah.
Because someone else pops in who really could use that, could really appreciate that I finish it. And I'm just like, I started it then thinking it was for them.
Yeah.
And realizing that later down the line it ended up being for somebody else.
That's kind of how I felt with this pillow. I started it for me, but as I'm going on, I'm thinking, it really could benefit somebody else very much more.
And I'm not trying to act like there isn't a sense of maybe setting my bar too high or thinking that maybe I should settle down and not push myself so hard. And it doesn't mean that I won't do something for the first person I meant it for.
Right.
Whether it be myself or others. It just means that sometimes I have to let it happen the way that it does and not feel guilty by it, because in some way it feels like it was meant to be that way in the end.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Things don't always happen the way that we think they need to happen. Sometimes things go in a different direction. And sometimes a hobby like this, where you feel like it's just meant to be just for you and your mental health, sometimes can be an opportunity of growth and learning to let things happen the way that they do. Because not everything has to be in our control.
Exactly.
And it's okay. So we have a chance and a choice every single day. And I choose to let the chances happen.
Yes.
So, we love you guys. We are grateful for all the subscribers. Hitting over 100 has been a very huge for us
milestone.
And even though it's not as big as other platforms, we're okay. We do it for us. We do it for the people that we know enjoy our videos.
And we appreciate every single one of you.
So, as always, like, subscribe. You can share our videos with someone that you think would enjoy them. If not, we're just grateful that you are here fellowshipping with us.
Comment, make yourself known to us.
And we also, if you don't like commenting publicly, we also have an email in the description bar that you can reach out to us with projects that you are doing. If there's video suggestions that you have, you can do that as well. We're open to a lot of things. So, as always, until next time, we hope that you stitch your way
to mental health.